Presidential hopeful Barack Obama sharpening his response not on his rival John McCain, but rather on the VP nominee Sarah Palin. In an interview on Sunday on ABC, the lead headline deals with Obama's response to Palin, saying, quote, she doesn't have the experience for the job. And then why then is Barack Obama focusing on Palin as opposed to McCain? Let's talk about that with Bob Beckel, Democratic consultant, and a Fox News contributor, Andrea Tantaros, political analyst and Republican consultant. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Let's let her rip. By the way, everywhere I went for the past 3 days, every single person I came in contact with, they're talking about Sarah Palin. We're going to discuss that in a moment here about this political phenomenon. Bob, should Barack Obama even be addressing Sarah Palin's qualifications, or do you want to kind of keep that focus on the top of the ticket?
Everywhere you went, they were talking about it. I didn't realize. I didn't have that experience. The answer, look, the reason that he's taken her on, and also McCain, I mean, did both, was that they tried to take the change message away from Obama. And what he said was, and he's exactly right, when Sarah Palin says that among the changes, we don't like these, you know, the federal money coming into the state of Alaska, and I was against the bridge to nowhere money. Well, the fact is, she was for it, that she was against it, but she kept the money. And she also hired lobbyists to get $27 million in earmarks for Wallissa, if I think that's how you pronounce where she's from.
Wasilla.
You know, so Wallissa, anyway, a little place in Alaska. And the
40
point
miles
is
north of Anchorage, population 7,000.
7,000. Okay, good. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was that big. And so I'll just say this. You know, if she wants to, if they want to try to take that change message, and they're not doing what the change is about, then he ought to call them on it. Absolutely.
Andrea?
Well, the reason Bob didn't hear anyone talking about Sarah Palin is because he didn't leave his house, because he was crying his eyes out over the fact that we did pick Sarah Palin and his team didn't pick Hillary Clinton.
There we go.
Bad mistake. So that's why Bob didn't hear about it. Look, this is not a fight that the Democrats want. They do not want to debate their top of the ticket on experience versus our bottom of the ticket. You know, Barack Obama has not authored a single piece of legislation. His motto is, when the going gets tough, the tough vote present. I mean, this is so different than Sarah Palin, who manages a budget in Alaska of $6 billion. She has 24,000 employees underneath her. She shares a border with Canada and Russia. Nobody else can say that. She's got a breadth and depth on the energy issue. Obama can't say that. And effectively, McCain has ripped the change mantra out of Obama's hands. McCain chose an outsider. Obama chose a Washington insider with Joe Biden.
She shares a border with Canada and Russia. First of all, it's not a border with Russia, number one. But number two, what is that supposed to mean? Does that make her an expert in Soviet affairs? I mean, what does that mean?
Bob, it's still something that no other governor has to deal with. And Barack Obama has dealt with zero foreign policy, Bob.
Does she have the Alaskan National Guard defending herself?
Foreign policy expert. 3 weeks in Karachi. That's what Barack Obama said makes him more experienced than Hillary Clinton and John McCain. That is laughable.
More experience. You're suggesting now, you really, with a straight face, are suggesting that Sarah Palin is experienced and ready to take over the presidency of the United States. Is that what you're saying, with a straight face?
Let's see. She is the vice president, correct, Bob? And Barack Obama is #1 on that ticket, so he's got to be ready on day one, correct? So you're saying that he has way more experience than her? Is that what you're arguing against?
Absolutely, absolutely.
How? What has he done? What? Nick, give me some legislation.
Do you know how big Alaska is? It's about the size of his state Senate district. #1.
What budget has he had to manage?
She's been in office less than 2 years as governor of Alaska. Frankly, the governor of Alaska, when you say she has to deal with the Russians, I don't know what she has to deal with the Russians about. She deals with the energy company and makes a lot of money off of dealing with the energy company.
Exactly. Energy.
And look, the other thing is, the other experience she's had, I'll give you that, as mayor of Wallissa, Wasilla, whatever it is.
Bob, you'll get it right eventually. Listen, I want to cut to the chase on this.
You still haven't given me any reason why.
Bob, you made a comment to one of our producers the following. Tell me if this is true or not. You said, trust me, this Rottweiler will self-destruct.
You wish.
That is,
that's
you know, those things are supposed to be personal, but now that you've brought it out, thank you. Yeah, the answer is, remember when she said the difference between.
Hang on. This is what you told our producers earlier today, right?
No, you're right. And what she said was...
Am I taking your words out of context in any way?
I thought she said the difference in her speech, the difference between a hockey mom and a Rottweiler was, or maybe it was a pig.
Right.
was lipstick, right?
I see.
So
okay,
that's
okay.
what I was playing off
I understand. It's not sexist then, but you're still saying that she will self-destruct.
I believe that she will by the time. Why? Because I don't think she's up for handling the national stage, and I think before a month is up, you're going to find that what looks like an exciting choice for the Republican base and the religious right is not going to be all that exciting.
Bob, if that's the only hope you guys have got, I'd get down on my knees and start
We got
praying,
a lot bigger hope than that.
It
a lot bigger
happen.
hope than that.
And
Bob,
that pit bull, you better watch because she bites.
Bob, thank you. Andrea, thank you as well.
Thanks, Bill.
There's a big test on Wednesday, by the way, with this interview with Charlie Gibson on ABC. It'll be the first time that she will go one-on-one with a national journalist, and I think a lot of people are going to be watching that, frankly. Bob, is it true you stayed inside all weekend?
Yeah, I did. I stayed inside all weekend. That's the reason I didn't see anybody, because I was recovering from 2 weeks on the road
I agree with you on that, yes, and you need a lot of
how many of
Here's
us
what I want to say about that is that every person I ran to said, what do you think of Sarah Palin? Everybody's got an opinion on this. I don't think there's been a political character of her type that's been dropped in the national conversation with this much influence to change the course of the conversation. Listen, can you name one person who's done that?
I cannot name. I tell you, I will give her that. She has certainly, since maybe William Jennings Bryan, I mean, she has certainly made a big stir. I'll grant you that. It was a good move in the sense of a tactical move. But that doesn't make her ready to be president of the United States.
That's the point I'm making.
And you must have been flying on a plane in with a lot of Republicans. And why you're still awake today, I don't know, because I've watched you the last 2 weeks.
Bob's just upset they didn't pick Hillary.
More caffeine. Hey, they're killing me in my ear, by the way, guys.
I know. Get out. Get out. It's time to get out. Okay.
See you, Bob. See you, Andrea.
All right, I'll go find some Palin people when I'm out there.
Ciao.